I would like to introduce our first speaker, Joni Nettleship, to share her letter for teenagers.
Hi. I wrote a letter, I rolled it up and put it in my pocket because I just want to speak from the heart. Thank you for coming out tonight. I left my daughters behind because unfortunately one of them, she's 12, and much as I would have loved for her to have been here tonight, I realise that this is a space for people and a platform to share stories that might not really want to be heard by the younger girls. Maybe we'll organise something separately for them, who knows. I brought my son with me instead. He will kill me if I point out where he's sitting, but every man and boy should be here tonight in this square. We know it's not all men, but I would have liked to have seen a few more. Anyway, my story kind of begins with a pair of leggings. I've got a daughter, and when she was a baby, I dressed her in a romper suit. She wore leggings until she was 3, 4, 5, 6. It carried on until she got to about 9, when I saw a man staring at her ass in the supermarket. I was told that he's probably a pervert, but, you know, she's tall for her age anyway. As a mum, you want to protect your children. You also try and instill in them a sense of owning their own body. When do 2 bare legs get such sexual meaning that girls feel the need to cover them up? When does a pair of leggings become such a provocative symbol that they're not an appropriate piece of clothing for school? Do boys' PE shorts get measured in the same way that our girls' school shorts and PE skirts do? No, it sounds ridiculous. When do girls' bodies stop belonging to them and belong to a wider society? It's not right. It breaks my heart as a mother, and as a mum, I want to say to young girls out there, we understand. How old were you when you first had a comment? Maybe someone looked at you in a funny way that you knew wasn't a bit weird. You were probably young enough to not understand the word sexual harassment, but I am sure you felt it somewhere. It was wrong, it felt weird, you didn't like it. We get a bit older and we learn to put our heads down, we feel embarrassed, we scuttle past the work site. You decide to kind of run a little bit faster past the van that's calling out as you're 12 in your school uniform. That happened to my daughter. You learn to get on with it, and as a parent it's heartbreaking to sit down and talk to your child about this is going to happen to you. What do? A hollaback teaches you to perhaps ignore, perhaps write the perpetrator's name in chalk, maybe take a video, post it online. What do? One thing I'd like to say to young women and girls out there, you do not owe a response. You do not owe that person your time. You do not owe them a feeling of shame. Don't feel ashamed if you respond, and don't feel ashamed if you don't. It's okay. I haven't got any magic answers about street harassment, but I know it happened to my daughters when they were 12. It's something which happens to every single person. It's not funny. It's not a joke. And I'm absolutely sick of hearing that, as well as I'm sure a lot of you are. There was a bit of pushback, wasn't there, about the 97% statistic. My 12-year-old daughter came to me and she said, "Look at this TikTok, Mum." And it was done by a boy as a joke, and it said, "Come on, guys, there's 3% left to go." Lee Hurst recently made a joke about Greta Thunberg on Twitter. It was pretty disgusting, I'm not going to repeat it. Twitter didn't see the funny side and took it down, but he said, "No regrets, it got the laughs." It's not a joke. So I want to say to young women out there, I am proud of you, and you inspire me to come and stand up here and speak. Be brave as well. It takes a lot of guts to speak out. It's never funny. It's not a joke. We know it's not all men. Thank you ever so much for listening. I'm very privileged to be here tonight.